Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I'm your host, Matthew Horkey. This is the last video in Montenegro. I did a previous episode. I said I'm quite sad we're leaving our apartment with a gorgeous view of the Kotor Bay. Brilliant country. I just wanted to share some thoughts on the country because it was an unusual wine industry. I have a couple of wines here from a winery. I was recommended by another small winery. Before I get into that, I'll give some thought. Before I talk about these wines, I'll give some thoughts about Montenegro. It's one of the oddest countries, old world countries I've ever been to for wine. Number one, it's dominated by the partially state-owned Plantaji wine company. Produces a lot of wine, not bulk wine, bottled wine, some quality, some premium, some super premium wines. And they're producing 16, 17 million liters of wine, and that's pretty much it. Maybe there's 10, 15 other producers producing in the 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 bottle a year range, and that's about it. It's pretty interesting. I find it weird because Montenegro is the home of Vranac. It's a home of an indigenous white grape called Krstač, the home of Kratošija, which is Zinfandel, and they have evidence that actually Zinfandel may have originated here and not in Croatia. Just really interesting country. What do you think, Shireen? Okay, sorry, you're shaking your phone while you're doing that. So, on top of that, when you go to the supermarkets, the wine shops, because Plantaji has about 32 different labels of wine, the wine shops are dominated by Plantaji. Maybe you can find a couple of labels here and there, but you really have to look hard, and you really have to know what you do. Like, for instance, I haven't even heard about Arhunto. I didn't even know where the winery was. There was no website. I had to hunt these down at specialty shops. And that's the only way I could taste them. As you can see, we drank about half a bottle each over the course of a couple days because we wanted to taste them and wanted to see how they were. But I am bringing one home for me. I'm going to show you this. This is the Vinarija Krgović Arhunto Vranac Private Reserve from 2012. This rang in here when I got the shop about 15 euros. This one right here was about 13 euros, so we're looking at maybe, what, 16 and a half US dollars, 14 US dollars, something like that, because luckily the euro and the US dollar are pretty similar right now. Now, interesting. So Vranac is a big, dark, jammy, heavy wine, high alcohol, has a lot of acidity going on for it. This is a little bit more muted, a little bit more tamed, a little thinner for a Vranac. The acidity, freshness is still there. This almost has an Italian-like smell, wouldn't you say, Shireen? I think that's what you noticed too as well. I like the Vranac in Montenegro because in Macedonia we always smelled blueberry and milk chocolate on the nose. Here we get a variety of different notes on the nose. This one I get nice raspberry, red fruit, acidity, a little bit of wood, cedar, a little bit of caramel. This is still really good. Lots of red fruit structure. The acidity is nice. It's just a nice, this is cedar, this is wood integrated exactly like I like it. Cedar, really nice wine. I think I rated this on my Vivino as 4.1 out of 5, which is really good. It says on these labels that there's only 7,000 bottles of the Cabernet Sauvignon made and 6,000 bottles of the Vranac made in French and Slavonian oak. I forgot to show you this. This is the Arhunto Cabernet Sauvignon 2012. This wine right here was actually a lot different for a Cabernet. It almost smelled and tasted like a Negro Amaro from South Italy. I know they said it tasted like a Mediterranean red, not a Cabernet, not a big, heavy Cabernet like you're used to. I still thought this was an interesting wine. The end palate was a little short. I think I gave it about 3.7 on Vivino. It could have been great if the end palate was longer. So that's just to wrap up our thoughts on the Montenegrin wine industry. If you come here, you're going to have to look really hard for the wines. The small producers, the wines are a little bit more expensive because they only have 10,000, 15,000 bottles. They're going to get rid of them anyway, so why not price them? Actually, we found a couple bottles, small producers of Vranac that were running for 25, 30, 40, 50 euros. which I thought was a bit excessive, but the wines were good. It's interesting to kind of find these small pockets, these small winemakers, and talk to them. They've got some great stories to tell. I hope you follow us into Croatia. We're heading to Dalmatia and Istria. If you like this channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel. I'll see you at the next episode.